Hey historians, Julie Johnson here with a very quick video going over a concept I don't want us to miss from the early chapters of our work this semester. So looking at chapters 1, 2, and 3, and actually part of 4 in your American Yope textbook that we're using online, there's a relationship and a concept I want us to talk about, and that is a relationship of the early British colonies and the motivation for settling British North America. If you take a look at this map of North America in 1700, you can see that Britain is actually one of the smallest European empires represented in what is, I'm going to use air quotes here, considered the New World, right? This Western Hemisphere, North America, Central America, and parts of South America. Obviously, Spain has a huge holding of land. France also has tremendous influence. And the British North American colonies that will develop, those 13 original American colonies, will develop along very important real estate along the Atlantic seaboard. And I'm giving you this map to look at really quickly because I want to make sure we kind of have a basis of geography that we're dealing with here. While Britain has a small amount of land in the North American continent circa 1700, they really have some really important real estate because they're controlling that Atlantic Ocean, that Atlantic seaboard. And the two colonies we've been looking at are the Chesapeake Bay, which is our first permanent British colony settled in the New World, known as Jamestown. This is in the Chesapeake Bay area, which will eventually become the Virginia colony. So I usually hit this pretty hard in the classrooms. Jamestown is the first British settlement to last, the first permanent British settlement in North America, settled in 1607. It is in the region of the Chesapeake Bay, which will eventually become the mighty Virginia colony. Now, with Jamestown, it is settled in the Virginia colony for economic motivations. This is a business venture to settle Jamestown. And one of the most important aspects of economic activity in Jamestown is tobacco becomes a very important cash crop in this Jamestown area. Tobacco is very an important product that is introduced to Europe. It is a very influential product, and so it'll be the first sort of cash cow for the Jamestown colony. In the South, right, which will become the American South, Virginia, these southern colonies of Virginia, North Carolina, South Carolina, and Georgia eventually. But New England is settled for different reasons, and I have a picture here of a Bible because I really would like you, or a book of Psalms, because I really would like you to think about a different motivation for settling New England, and that's a real religious motivation, right? These are settlers in the New England area, in the Massachusetts Bay Colony, that are looking for religious freedom. These are separatists, Puritans, who are hoping to escape some of the religious turmoil in England and practice their religion, their purified religion, in their own way, with their own expression. And so there's a difference right away in the way that New England is settled in 1620 from the way that Jamestown is settled in the Chesapeake Bay much earlier. Obviously, we know some of the narratives of the Mayflower Compact, which I'm not going to go over with you. This is a contract between those early pilgrims who are settling in the Massachusetts Bay Area. But you can see from this language, right, even though we're not going to explore it in depth, you can see from this language right off the bat, in the name of God, amen, we whose names are underwritten here, by the grace of God, for the glory of God, for the advancements of Christian faith, right? You can see all of this language with these New England settlers that we don't see with the Jamestown, Virginia settlers. And so the reason I really want us to think about the difference in the way these two regions are going to be set up in British North America is because I really want us to think about what's going to separate them for years and frankly even up to present day, ideology and approaches to economic activity, market-driven motivations for these two regions. A very important colonist from the New England area is a man by the name of John Winthrop. And I always think he looks like such a huggable, lovable guy in this picture. He's not, obviously. He's a very pure Puritan. He is very interested in purifying religion. And so New England will hope to become what John Winthrop will call, and this is the important part, New England will hope to become what John Winthrop will call a city upon a hill. It's mentioned in chapter 3, but they don't really go into detail, and I'd love for you to explore this concept. In New England, the settlers want to be an example, a model of Christian charity. And so Winthrop will say in 1630, "For we must consider that we shall be as a city upon a hill. The eyes of all people are upon us, so that if we shall deal falsely with our God in this work we have undertaken, and so cause him to withdraw his present help from us, we shall be made a story and a byword through the world." What I really want you to think about here: how does our own American identity reflect this idea of being an example for the world? A city upon a hill, all the eyes of the people. Are they still on America today? Food for thought. Talk to you later, historians.